Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Partners in Ovation. My name is Trish Cohn. I am the Executive Director of High Point, and we are pleased to bring this ongoing series with our many partners in our community. What exactly does Partners in Ovation mean? It really is a collaborative effort throughout the community, whether it be staff, whether it be outside, whether it's friends, family, but anybody that has a connection with us that we like to collaborate with and learn a little bit more about them, and they learn a little bit about us, and something that we can bring to you that you can really think about and maybe provide some new information that you haven't heard of. What's really exciting today is that I'm interviewing our own president, Mike Sattell. And I'm just so happy to have him here. And I'm just going to go right to Michael and say thank you for joining us in Partners in Ovation.
Oh,
I'd really
thank you, Trish.
Oh, well, we're just thrilled. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself and how did you come to Ovation?
Sure. Well, thank you for having me. I am the president and CEO of Ovation Communities and the Jewish Home and Care Center Foundation. I'm in my 10th year here. Before I joined Ovation, I was a volunteer for the communities, but my professional background, I helped run my family's accounting firm, public accounting firm, Sattell Johnson Appellant Company, where I not only was the managing partner, but I also was able to utilize my designations as a certified fraud examiner and certified in financial forensics. I left my family's firm 30 years to the day, actually, July 1st, 2011, after having been asked by my predecessor, the incomparable, legendary Nita Correa, to consider becoming the president of all of our 4 boards of directors and the chief executive officer of our operations. And I had never thought about leaving my family's business, but the challenge was something that I couldn't really turn away. And the gratitude I have for being able to join you and all of our incredible employees in really doing the right thing for our elders by providing an incomparable place to live with fantastic services and programs has been so fulfilling in my life.
Well, we're so happy that you did join us, and you know, Nita was such the icon of all times in senior care, and she couldn't have made a better pick. I just want to hear a little bit about your history in elder fraud, just a little bit about that.
Sure. Well, my father, Mickey, actually became one of the first certified fraud examiners in the country. He always had a passion for fighting white-collar crime, and I followed in his footsteps. The Certified Financial Examiner designation is something that's provided by, believe it or not, the Association of Certified Fraud Examiners. And it's a designation that you have to pass an examination. And the goal of having that designation is to be able to investigate, document, and testify on white-collar crime and on other types of frauds and schemes. The public accounting background that I have and working with elderly taxpayers, I would see things from time to time where they were getting ripped off. And it was a natural extension of getting that designation that led me to wanting to learn more about elder fraud so that I could help them prevent themselves from being a victim of crime.
That's wonderful. You know, and then I look at these letters that you have, these designations of CFE and CFF, and I want to say ABC, but what do those really stand for?
The CFE, the Certified Fraud Examiner designation. The CFF designation is through the American Institute of CPAs. And again, needing to pass examination, but that stands for Certified in Financial Forensics.
Oh,
So
okay.
part of my job with fighting white-collar crime, that designation helped me focus on using my accounting and auditing background to be able to analyze financial aspects of businesses and complex arrangements between not only business partners but also divorcing couples. I
Wow.
did a lot of divorce work too, and that would involve spouses trying to hide assets from one another. And I was often engaged to find out where those hidden assets were.
That's amazing. That's a very diverse, we go from one extreme to the next in fraud. It's interesting because I know fraud has been occurring and it's at the highest right now, and even more so with COVID with the scams.
Yeah.
And how can we help our seniors recognize a scam?
Well, we know from working here and from loving our residents and their families that unfortunately there are a lot of really bad people out there. Elder fraud is a very, very real thing, and it amounts to billions of dollars of losses of financial assets every single year. There are a number of things that we can do to be aware if there's something going on with somebody that we love. We can help educate our elders about what current scams are that are going on so that they can recognize them in real time, hopefully. And we can be good neighbors and good friends for our elders that live not only at High Point and at the Jewish home, but in the greater community. And be just very watchful of changes in behavior that elders might have. If there has been a change in their trusting people, if there's been a change in their affect, if they're starting to isolate themselves, if they stop spending money on food, if they have become less aware of their own physical appearance and hygiene. Those are some signs that there might be something more going on, that they're being perpetrated upon by, unfortunately, the most common perpetrator are family members, which is really hard to believe. But they can also be caregivers, unfortunately. And here we try to do everything that we can to protect our community from circumstances that would make it easier for people to perpetrate a financial fraud and abuse against our elders.
Yeah, and I know that it's happened in my many years here, of where some of my seniors, and they're such bright, smart, educated people, anyone can fall for a scam. And when they're targeted and they're a little bit more lonely and they're, maybe in their apartments a little bit more, and these, and you get the phone call, and I know one of the famous ones was, hello, this is your grandson, and, I'm in trouble, I need money. I've come across a lot of frauds in my time with that, and I'm just wondering, like, how can we fight this? I mean, these are great challenges, especially now.
Well, and they do occur quite a bit. And actually, there are a lot of recent scams with COVID in particular that I'll talk about. But we need to recognize the fact that when we age and when we have instances of cognitive decline, one of the first or the most magnitude of cognitive decline can present itself in terms of making poor financial decisions. There have been a lot of studies that have shown that as we go through cognitive decline, we can be 4 times more vulnerable to making poor financial decisions based on confusion, based on uncertainty, based on just anxiety. Because if you can imagine going through cognitive decline and the fear that that brings and the anxiety that underlies that, it can lead somebody to making a poor decision. So transactions occur all the time in our lives. We all have the ability to go online. We all have telephones that we pick up. We all get mail. All of those are ways that a fraudster can attack our elders with the intention of trying to steal their money. So it's just vitally important for our elders to recognize that if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. The government is not going to call you up and ask you for your credit card. They're not going to send you mail and ask you to call them and give you credit information or bank information or a social security number. When you go online and when you see an email and it's asking for that personal health information or personal financial information, don't give it. If you're not sure, go to your neighbor. Come to us who work at High Point to ask us, is this real? Is this what's going on? When you get robocalls, when you get the ridiculous calls like you mentioned, hang up the phone. In fact, if you can, learn how to use your digital phone to recognize that there's a fraudulent call coming through. If you don't recognize the number, or if you haven't programmed your phone to recognize your loved one's phone number, and again, staff can help you do that, don't pick up the phone. Let it go to voicemail. Find out, if this is somebody that you really want to call back.
Yeah, these are really great ideas and so helpful because, for any of us, but especially as you get older. And I know, and exactly what you said, people get embarrassed that they have fallen for a scam if they have, and they're embarrassed to tell us, whatever. But the biggest thing here is that we're here to help them, and that's so appreciated. That's just wonderful. So what are, can you tell us a little bit right now of some of the COVID scams that are going on? Is there anything in particular that you're seeing much more so of?
Well, this one's pretty insidious, and I haven't heard about it here. But I've read about it, and that's really contact tracing calls. That someone will call up and say that they're calling from the health department, and that they, wanted to, tell the our elders that they know somebody, and that it's been reported that they may have been too close to somebody, and they need to be warned. And then to go on and say, well, we need your social security number for our files, or we need your bank information. Don't give it to them. The health department is not going to ask you for your personal information, either social security number, Medicare number, credit card number, bank information number. It's a fraud. You hang up on that person.
That's good to know. And I know always if people come to me, the IRS has called me. Yes. The IRS would never call you.
Yeah, and now during COVID, what's happening is with government stimulus, already a number of our residents and a lot of elders have gotten stimulus checks directly from the government. There are people out there that are calling up and saying, hey, the check you got in the mail, you're going to get a check in the mail, but we need you to send us information first before we can send it to you. Or, congratulations, you're getting government stimulus. But in order for you to be able to get your $1,000 check, we need you to send $5 or wire us money. And then they have your bank account information. They can get into your checking account. They can get into your finances and take a lot more than just that, that little itsy bit of $5 doesn't sound so threatening. But it's giving a portal to all of your personal information.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
So not only have government scams been out there for a long time, but now they're attaching them to stimulus.
Okay.
And then, there are, the other things that are going on, there have always been charity scams, but now there are a lot of people posing as COVID charity scams. So they're calling up
Oh,
and saying, will you please help us? And the thing is about the people that we love and our elders is that they're incredibly giving people.
Yeah.
They're incredibly trusting people.
Yeah.
All of our loved ones are. And they want to help. But you need to do your homework. You need to find out if it's a legitimate charity. There are ways that you can do that. You can go to the IRS website and find out if the name of the organization, whether or not they're actually federally recognized before you make a donation. So unfortunately, being trusting and wanting to help can also get you into trouble, and you need to be skeptical and you need to take those extra couple steps. But then the other big one, Trish, that's going on right now is that there are people out there that are saying that they have vaccination. They can send you vaccinations or test kits.
That's terrible.
But you need to give them, your credit card information in order to be able to get that in return.
Wow.
It's hard to believe that people are that terrible, but that's going on too. And we all need to be aware of it.
Yeah, no, this has been so beneficial today. I cannot even for myself, I'm always learning something new, and you're always trying to we try to protect our elders. We love them so much. Can you give me a fun fact about yourself?
A fun fact. I'm a new grandfather, and I miss seeing my granddaughter Alma so much, and hopefully I can see her again soon, other than on FaceTime. She fortunately has not asked me for my personal information.
Okay, that's good. Please don't give it to her.
Yes.
But you would want to give her anything, so.
Yeah, I'd give her anything.
Yeah, I know you would.
Yeah.
Also, I heard that you grew up in Bayside. Is that correct?
Yes, I grew up near this really awesome young lady that I've known for a long time, and I'm very grateful to work right beside her now for the last 10 years.
My neighbor and my favorite basketball player right down the street.
Yep.
It has been a pleasure. Thank you so much, Michael.
Thank you.
This was just a lot of fun and very, very informative. I'd like to thank everybody today for watching our wonderful Partners in Ovation. I'm going to ask you please to make sure that you like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also find us on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. We really appreciate your support.